Hello, Barrow folks. I am here in Eosia once again. Welcome to stream. I guess I can jump straight into it. So this weekend I'm going to have a little stream going both today and tomorrow. And we're basically going to try and see if we can level a new class from level 1 all the way up to level 50. I put up a poll in the Burrow, which is my Discord group, which you can see the link on the screen, and people voted for a magic class, a magic DPS instead of a martial one. So I am now here stood next to an individual who is gathering stuff for their quest on the fountain in Uldar in front of the Black Mage Guild. So that is the one we are going to pick up, because I thought between Black Mage and Red Mage they are both in this town, but Black Mage deals with magic more so than Red Mage does, while they are both still magic classes and magic DPSs. If I go into, they are both magical range DPSs, Thaumaturge and Red Mage. There is also the Arcanist that can go into the Summoner, but I thought Thaumaturge is just interesting. It's the one that I tend to go towards first out of these three. Unless I'm going for Scholar, in which case I go for the Arcanist into the Scholar, because that is a class that can branch off into the two different classes when it gets its job. And so this Arcanist profile becomes the Summoner profile, and then Scholar opens up as well, as opposed to the other ones where it goes from like Conjurer to White Mage, or Thaumaturge to Black Mage, or Rogue to Ninja, or Lancer to Dragoon. This one, Arcanist becomes Summoner and the Scholar opens up. But we are not dealing with that. We are dealing with the fact that my highest level class is a Fisherman at level 91, because I went from 1 to 91 with the level 1 fishing rod over that one event that was going on, which luckily has now finished, so you don't need to worry about sporadic fishing trips during my streams, that when I highlighted them and moved them to YouTube, I still kind of kept in a lot of the fishing, because it just shows the progress that I was making through the game. And I thought if people are interested, I've put them near the front or the end of the videos, so you can kind of skip over them or avoid them if you don't want to watch the fishing parts. But if you do, they're there, rather than breaking them all down and taking out all the fishing sections like in the middle of streams, where I then have to break a storyline down into multiple chunks, and every single storyline would have to be broken into multiple chunks. But we don't have to worry about that anymore, because we are now off the fishing quest. The Itinerant Moogle event has finished. I managed to get a couple more mounts, the Legendary Kamui and the Hallowed Kamui, on top of obviously getting the Shadow Gweaver Falcon, Magic Bed, and a couple of the minions like Little Bitey here. Little bitty duckbill, who is having a lovely swim in the fountain. But yes, so we have got our White Mage is our main, obviously ready to go to Coerthus and venture into the nonsense that is Heaven's Ward, the storyline there. But we are taking a hiatus from that, because next month I am going to be away for a month, and I thought there's no point jumping into a fresh storyline with Final Fantasy XIV for like 3 or 4 streams. I will get like really short way into it and then have to not be here for a month, which means you then will have to wait. And if it's a really good point, I don't want to leave you all hanging on a huge cliffhanger, which will likely be what happens, because Heaven's Ward has a lot of them. So I thought we would do this weekend streaming. I will do grind a new class. So I will grab the Black Mage and I will level up Black Mage as high as I can get to 50. If I can get it 1 to 50 over this weekend, amazing. If I can't, we'll get it to where we get it. But then that means I can, when I come back from holiday, I can use Black Mage for the first part of Heaven's Ward, going for like all the not dungeon parts basically, so that they can get up to 60 at roughly the same time as my White Mage gets to 60 for then going into the next expansion of Stormblood. So we've got a good amount of stuff that we can do. I can also do some of the allied societies, some of the beast tribes as they used to be called back in the expansion that I'm technically in. We can definitely pick up some of those. Like I might do a stream of the Ixal quests to level up my Culinarian, who is currently level 32. Not too bad. But I could probably get that to 50 over a couple of quests. Or throwing in a daily each day with the Ixali. But for now, we're going to focus on doing the Black Mage quests. Oh no, I'm too short to run out of the fountain. So, this is the Black Mage or Thaumaturge Guild. If you're not sure where it is on the map, this is Uldar, the main city of Thaum. There is the Aetheryte Plaza, and you literally run out, and it's nestled down in this little corner here. It does have an Aethernet, so you can teleport straight to it, which is always pretty useful. So that's quite good. But then you literally just run up here and speak to the guild receptionist, Yayake. So, hello Yayake. Welcome to the Thaumaturge's Guild. It is fate that has guided your steps here, friend. Within these hallowed halls, the arts of devastation are taught, primeval magics with which to bring about an enemy's ruin. If you would join our ranks and wield the power of thaumaturgy, I urge you to seize this moment and confide in me your arcane ambitions. I do want to join the guild. Yes, there truly was no other answer, was there? Lean closer now, and I shall whisper to you of thaumaturge's beginnings. The nation of Uldar inherited its traditions from ancient Beladia, a city founded by the descendants of the first mages. The secrets of these illustrious sorcerers were ultimately entrusted to the priests of the Order of Nald Thal, who have passed them down from generation to generation ever since. Focused and refined over centuries of order. I can read lines, it's fine. Focused and refined over centuries of use in the Order's funeral rites, the arcane magics of our ancestors eventually emerged as the art we now know as thaumaturgy. A freezing blizzard to halt corruption, a raging fire to cleanse the corpse, a bolt of lightning to expel the sins of mortal life. The Dweomers, I hope I said that right, employed in the preparations of the dead are equally efficacious when applied to the living. Thus does our guild thrive in the depths of Arzaneth's ossuary, a sanctuary devoted to Thal, the divine arbiter of the afterlife. What say you then, adventurer? If you would plumb the abyssal depths of thaumaturgy, let our learned sages guide your descent. But before you leap into the darkness, you must prove to our guildmasters that you are possessed of the spiritual fortitude necessary to look upon that which waits therein. When you are ready to submit to the judgment of our most eminent mages, say the word. Well, adventurer, will you join our guild, or do you presume to ignore the urgings of impatient destiny? A wise decision indeed. To prepare for your initiation, I would have you study the volumes of Fundamental Thaumaturgical Principle, all 108 of them. Or at least I would, if such requirements had not been abolished. Too great a deterrent to fresh novices, they say. I suppose you shall have to settle for calling upon the collective wisdom of our guildmasters. We have 5, you see, all brothers of the same house. Though they all wield supreme authority, it is the eldest who provides a singular voice for the guild when one is required. Master Kokobaigo, I believe. Lalafel's not remembering other Lalafel's names. But she did give me... Oh no, she gave me the quest to go and pick up my first staff. Also, my weapon cache is incredibly messy. Hello, Coco Pico. Who? What? Oh, Thal's teeth, miss. Did your mother never tell you not to startle a thaumaturge? Oh no, I have to do 5 different Lalafell voices. 5 different, probably, they did say brothers, so 5 different male Lalafell voices. They might all sound very similar, unfortunately. Look at that expectant face, Cocobago. I will also get them very confused. This lady is obviously a new applicant for the guild seeking audience with our eldest brother. Oh, pre-let your Yayake. She can recite near 307 verses of the funeral rites for the virtuous fallen, but the simple task of keeping our names straight seems ever beyond her grasp. Well, I for one find the constant confusion endlessly entertaining. My apologies, my dear. My merriment was not meant to mock your mistake. It is our sibling Kokobuki with whom you should speak. See, I get to see all their names written above their heads, and I will still confuse them and mess them up. What's this? What's this? Thal has led us a new aspirant. Ah, Kokobuki. Were you here the entire time? Greetings, child. I am Kokobuki, the eldest, and I would venture to say the wisest of the 5 masters of the Thaumaturges Guild. It is my solemn duty to furnish our would-be initiates with a succinct understanding of our beloved art. Thus, I would have your fullest attention. To wield thaumaturgy is to unleash devastation upon the highest magnitude. The lethal force of our spells far exceeds the destructive capability of any other form of arcane manipulation. Unless you can paint fire, lightning, blizzards, somnolence. The thaumaturge calls upon an expansive arsenal of offensive incantations to incapacitate and obliterate all manner of adversaries. Open your mind to our sorceress teachings, and you, too, shall soon hold the unparalleled power of our discipline in the palm of your hand. Of course, such power has a price. You must be willing to plunge headfirst into the forbidding chasm of thaumaturgy's secrets. For advancement in this art comes only with the completion of deadly and terrible trials. I ask you now, aspirant, are you prepared to leap into the abyss in pursuit of power unrivaled? Yes. Yeah, I am. A confident response. Your name, if you will. Yeah. Very well, Tegan. Let us mark your initiation with 3 eminently practical gifts. My first gift to you shall be an addition to your hunting log, the names of such enemies that will prove suitable to your training as a thaumaturge. The second and third gifts are this scepter and shield, instruments you shall need to focus the destructive force of your will. The shield less so. I prefer the staff. Did you believe your initiation over? My dear disciple, we have only just begun. Take your new weapons in hand, and I will set you forth upon your first trial. And they give me the weapon required to become a thaumaturge. Which, now that they've given me the weapon, and I've unlocked the thaumaturge because of finishing the cutscene, now whenever I equip a wand, much like I do with the other classes, I swap to being a thaumaturge. I need to add it to my gear set list. We'll pop thaumaturge up here, move with Culinarian so that they can be next to each other. Lovely. It also tells me how to do gear set lists, which I already know. I'll also take all of those off the hotbars because currently I only need Blizzard 1 Hello, Tufnell. You're lurking while I begin my adventure with black magics. Good. Lurking is perfect, as we are going to be diving into the abyss, where all manner of lurkers dwell. My first sceptre. The sceptre well complements the avid desire for destructive power written upon your features. Now, we shall complete your initiation with a trial to test the limits of your aptitude for channeling thaumaturgy. Huge hornets, star marmots, and snapping shrews inhabit the land in abundance. Exercise your sorceress might and slay 3 of each of these creatures before returning to my side. I also need to make sure that I grab hard layout, grab the elemental gauge and bring it down where I can witness it better. Cancel save. There we go. There we go. And then I also need to open up my menu and grab a food that gives me spell speed, probably. Ooh, dried plums. And I've got so many dried plums. I'll put the high quality ones on first, and I don't need that. Commercial survival manual is not going to help me level up. But the first quest for my first sceptre is very, very simple. It's literally go out into one of the areas besides and kill a bunch of stuff. They also gave me the, if I can find where it is again, logs, hunting log. I have the thaumaturgist hunting log, which also has ladybugs, huge hornets, snapping shrews, cactuars, seraphid clouds, yars and feeders, rusty goblins, sprigging grave robbers, quirkwin shell sweepers, and sunbats. Most of which are in, or in fact all of which, are just in the west and central Thaum starting areas. So I can probably immediately run off and go and get to level 10 very, very simply by just doing the log. We shall start in central because that's where my level 1 quest is. So that will be nice and simple to fulfill. And remember, when leveling, make sure you have food because it boosts your experience. Hence why I put dried plums on my hotbar so that I can quickly just munch a couple of plums. Technically they're prunes because they are dried plums, but we don't quabble too much. Blizzard! And Matilda goes running off to try and kill them as well. Thanks, Matilda. Ah, someone else killed it. I wondered why the one I was targeting just randomly died. Oh, it left the range. Wasn't even chasing me, but it's invincible until it gets back to its starting spot. Ah, and I have now unlocked Astral Fire, or Umbral Ice and Astral Fire. But I've unlocked Fire 1. Oh, good. The Star Marmot came to say hi. Now I'm 2-button gaming. Exactly. Peak gameplay. Look, we can use fire now. Pew! Pew! So, this is an overview of how Astral Fire Umbral Ice Astral Fire works. The general gist of it is Astral Fire tends to be more powerful, especially if you have, well, sorry. I'll give an actual explanation. So, we have this gauge, which is our elemental gauge. It attunes to Umbral Ice or Astral Fire. In order to get it to attune to Astral Fire, as you can see this little ball of fire floating around me, we need to use fire spells. Like Fire 1, which takes 1,600 mana, but deals a whole bunch of damage. 180 potency. And it has the additional effect of granting Astral Fire or removing Umbral Ice. So if we have a little ice bauble, all it will do by casting fire, it will cost less, because our spells cost slightly less when we have Umbral Ice on, but they do less damage. So the first casting of fire will remove any umbral ice pip we have floating around us and put us in neutral, effectively. The second casting of fire will then put us in astral fire, which will mark this little gem in the middle as red and give us a little red crystal. Putting us in astral fire then lets our spells cost a bit more but deal a bit more damage. If we want to swap back to umbral ice, because the ability that umbral ice gives us is it regens our mana, which while we're in astral fire, our mana doesn't regen. We have no passive regen of mana, so we get more damage output, but we'll run out. So we can't constantly be in astral fire, which is kind of the main premise of the Thaumaturge and the Black Mage thereafter, is balancing astral fire and umbral ice, and you also unlock higher levels of them and get more little glowy floaty orbs around, which is always very cool and very fun. I'm just going to briefly sleep my way over here. Whee! With my floaty fire orb. Yeah, so as we can see, I will just do another fire. Deals 30 damage. 33 damage. And that's then leveled me up, so I gain back up to max health and given me Transpose, which is a very cool ability that lets us swap immediately from astral fire to umbral ice. So it's pretty useful for just being like, oh no, I've run out of mana. Let's quickly just hop to umbral ice for free in order to regen some of my mana. Because if I keep just randomly fighting things, I'll complete my quest, but also I will probably level up again now, unfortunately. I'm not able to example running out of mana because I keep leveling up too quickly. Okay. If I kill a couple more enemies, I shouldn't level up from them, I don't think, in the amount of time it takes me to run out of mana. Because I'm not doing quests anymore, because I've already finished the quest. And I've already finished the hunting logs for these, so there we go. So now I can't astral fire anymore, as you can see. But I can transpose, which then swaps me to an umbral ice, and I start regaining mana again. And I can then umbral ice, which only does 24 damage, but every time I cast it, it regains me a bunch of mana. I can then hit a fire again, and it only does 21 damage while I have the umbral ice pip up. So it does about 10 less damage, even at this level, as to whether I have astral fire or umbral ice up. But there is only like a 5-second cooldown on transpose, so when you hit level 3, there's no real excuse for level 3, level 5, level 4. Okay, it's acquired at level 4. There's no real excuse at level 4 upwards to ever be like, oh god, I have no mana and I can't do anything about it, because you have transpose. There is always something you can do about it. But I've hit level 5 already, so I can go hand in my level 5 quest, or I can continue my hunting log and do multiples in one go. Let's grab the hunting log up. What else do we have in Central Thaumland? Because we've done the first two in Central Thaumland. We have a Cypherid Cloud, which are down this way, I believe. Blackbrush, yeah. And then Spriggan Grave Robbers. And Quaquin Shells. And Sunbats, but they're higher level. Let's hop on my bed and fly a bit more. Oh, there's the flies. Sorry, I almost cast a spell without transposing first. Yeah, this is peak early game Final Fantasy, as if you were to pick this up straight away off the bat with nothing going on. This is the sort of 2-button hectic gameplay you'll have going on. It's actually very fun and just nice and relaxed. I also now have unlocked Thunder, or Lightning one, Thunder, which is a damage over time ability, which is very cool. I'm here with another Thaumaturge who is fighting this fate. Fates are just a nice way to get a bit of a boost in level. Big chunk of experience just for helping kill this. And it also gets some seals, which we are not doing great at. We haven't had many seals. Notably, I don't have a dash ability yet. Also, I just used a thunder into triggering another free thunder. Yeah, that's all of them. Fly off to the next set of enemies. I can also zoom out a bit more so we can see a bit more if I zoom out. No, that's where the ants are. I need the Spriggans, which are down in the little hole over here. The little ruins entrance. There we go. All the Spriggan grave robbers just living down in this little pit. I've still got Astral Fire up because I leveled up, so we can just go into burning all the bunnies. Not the flies. Ooh. There we go. We can keep fighting even though we have run out of mana because we can literally swap to Umbral Ice and just keep using Blizzard. The fun part is that it looks like they've rejigged some of the Black Mage and Thaumaturge abilities since the last time I've played one. So I'm also learning little bits and pieces. So by the looks of it, Thunder now only triggers when you transpose, or when you swap from one to the other. Yeah, can only be cast while under the effect of Thunderhead, granted when gaining Astral Fire or Umbral Ice from an unaspected state, or changing between their influences. Only one Thunderspell induced damage over time effect per caster can be inflicted upon a single target. So you can't stack multiple sets of thunder. So just going transpose thunder, transpose thunder, transpose thunder doesn't really do anything. Another fun little note, back when I used to play Black Mage, there was a timer on how long you lasted in Astral Fire or Umbral Ice between casts. So when you cast a thing, it would have a little number here. I think it was like 40, 30 seconds, something like that, which would then start ticking down, and if you don't cast another spell before that hits 0, you lose your little floaty bauble. But it looks like they've gotten rid of that now. I don't know whether it's because the higher level stuff requires that you don't cast spells straight away and save up on something, I don't know, but interesting. Momentary pause to drink there. But we've got the Quirkins here, so we can continue our level push and our hunting log. Pew. Now you will note I am not being a very good Thaumaturge currently. And the primary reason is because I'm just dodging all of the AoEs by slide casting. And some of you might be thinking, well, how does that make you not a good Thaumaturge? Well, because at level 50, I will be able to prove to you why that makes me not a good thaumaturge. It's a meme, it's a joke. You should be slide casting, you should be dodging AoEs. And if you're not, because you've got ley lines down, sometimes you need to leave the circle, friend. Sometimes you need to leave the circle and not be hit in the face. Would be great for all the healers out there. Sometimes it's okay to step outside your circle. And in fact, they gave you an ability to move your circle to you in one of the newer ones, I think. I think one of the new abilities is you can teleport to your ley lines and you can teleport the ley lines to you. I think that's how it works. I don't remember. High level black mage stuff. I don't know why I went round the long way around that list. But yeah, level 8 already. The first part of this is going to be very quick. When we pass like level 30, I might have to start doing other things because, well, actually no, when we pass like level 15, I can start doing other things. You have the satisfied look of a mage who has utterly vanquished her foes. Tegan, I formally welcome you into the Brotherhood of Thaumaturges. The purpose of this trial was to gauge your capacity for wielding thaumaturgy, an innate quality the limits of which are bound by the level of etheric energy flowing through your physical being. Aether, the very stuff of life, exists within all living creatures, to a greater or lesser extent. Much like midichlorians. Remember this, for it is the most basic law of arcane manipulation. As your experience grows, so shall your reserve of thaumaturgical endurance. The wellspring of your magical might will also swell in response to moments of extreme terror or duress. When you find yourself seeking greater challenge, when next you crave the thrill of exquisite fear, that is when you shall know the time has come for you to visit me once more. That's his way of saying, come back at level 5. And I go, cool. I'm back. I didn't go anywhere, but I'm already level 8. So give me my next quest, please. Thank you. Your burgeoning power strains against the confines of your untried mortal shell. Another trial you must have. Another trial you must have. That was a terrible expression. A terrible... No, the word's gone. No, word's gone. From this day forth, your tasks and challenges will be shaped by the teachings found within Thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss, a tome penned by the renowned thaumaturge Zozomaya. My brothers, who have not once tasted the bitter draught of defeat, will instruct you on the vital lessons to be gleaned from the four extensive chapters that comprise this exemplary work. Much shall you learn about the threats with which a practitioner of our arts must contend. The first chapter, The Threat of Intimacy, falls within Kokobaiko's purview. It is only fitting that one so averse to being approached should teach you the wisdom to be uncovered therein. Nope, wrong one. Hello. Yes, Tegan, I've been expecting you. Allow me to read to you the pertinent passages from the opening chapter of Zozomaya's Guide. The Threat of Intimacy. How magnificent the potent power we wield. Roaring flames, piercing ice, and shocking bolts are matched not by fist or sword or spear. But the burly warrior waxes fearsome with every closing step. Fists shatter bone, blades slice through flesh, spears puncture soft bellies. Know you this threat and stand you apart from such men. That last part makes me queasy no matter how often I recite it. The lesson, however, should be obvious. Keep your distance from your foes. Apart from the agony of being hit or stabbed or worse, you'll have a devil of a time completing an incantation with an enemy flailing his weapon at your person. Thus the wise thaumaturge always strikes from afar. The farther the better. Now, let us proceed with your trial. Take this dried fish and set it down in the vicinity of the silver bazaar. Next, simply draw back to a comfortable distance and wait for the vulture to swoop in to feed. A vulture, not the vulture. We're not fighting Spider-Man villains here. That's when you ambush the nasty creature with a barrage of deadly spells. Once you have slain the scavenger, be sure to retrieve a generous slice of vulture meat for Fafafono. Fafafono. I love Lalafell names, they're great. He doesn't mind conducting trials so close. He doesn't mind us conducting trials so close to his shop, so long as he's properly compensated. Yes, Tegan, we pay him in sorcery-blasted bird flesh. Oh. Like we lure birds to his shop, blast them with fire, and then give him the cooked meat. And he then sells it. All FDA approved. Is FDA the right one? Food? Something? I guess it's this side. Which allows us to go get the rest of our hunting logs for this area. We'll easily be level 15 in no time. Whee! It's down here, isn't it? Next to this fragging site. Whoosh. Not next to that fragging site? Oh no, it's this one. There we go. Oop. And plonk the meat on the floor. Run away a little bit. And post up over here. It's a vulture. That was incredibly easy. Oh, and the rusty goblins are here. Yeah. 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 And there's another fate. So we've got a hunt here and a fate going on, so we can very easily just kind of jump in and start killing stuff. Try not to anger those earth spirits too much. Not that they're difficult, they're just... Yes, I'm trying to be friendly. I don't even remember what adult does, I just used it because I had it. Failed the slide past because I just kind of wandered instead. I do like that you can keep the Thunderhead up basically the whole time. Oh gosh. There we go. Not a fan of the double target. We're getting there. Getting a bunch of hammer beaks. No. I have got some pretty good range. That's always good. Nice. We're almost level 10. And we didn't even hand in the quest yet. Or do any of our hunting logs, so that's very simple. Oh no. You're done making use of my testing ground, are you? Cough up the fee then. There we go. I also killed a bunch more other stuff, but their things are mine. There's nothing so tender as a bit of meat pummeled with wanton wizardry. Nice doing business with you, Thaumaturge. Oh. Diminutive alchemist. Did you say Thaumaturge? Has this mage just completed the guild trial? Ah, Master Alchemist. What brings you out to our bazaar this fine evening? The lady here just slew herself a plump vulture. You'd be surprised at how many of these scepter-wielding sorcerers end up sliced to ribbons by beak and talon. And that's not the sort of flesh I have a taste for, you understand? My brothers, not again. Secret extra brother? Secret sixth brother? Sixth brother, sorry. We've still got a bunch of hunting logs to do in this area, which means we'll be easily level 10 by the time we go back. There's like one more enemy and we will be level 10. And hunting logs were cactuars. Yarzens were on the list. Pew! 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 There we go, level 10. Bring out your dead one. Unlocked. Sleep. I finished that hunting log. Oh, the spirit is just attacking me. Yeah. 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 Nice and simple. Yeah. Ladybugs, cactuars, and sunbats that are in Central Shroud. So these two are just over here. Back towards the town, we've got cactuars, then up the hill we've got the little ladybugs. Oh, we've got some down here, that works too. Pew. Chucking around fireballs everywhere. we go. Those were the two hunting logs. I did accidentally start a new fight with another enemy. Oops. Okay, so 1 to 10 in like 40 minutes. Of which I also did an introduction, so like 35 minutes. We can easily get to 50 this weekend, right? I haven't even gone into a dungeon yet. And I'll get so much experience in dungeons. Especially because I've got them all unlocked previously. And I've got my dailies, I've got my guild tests, I've got leaves. There's so many ways to level up. I've also got the actual just job quests, and I've got my food, so we should easily be able to get to 50 over this weekend. Hello, Coco Bigo. We're in a proper cutscene now. Welcome back, Tegan. You seem to have done well. Both eyes intact, face appears unshredded. It truly is the most terrible feeling to have one's casting interrupted by heinous injury. It's one of the easier trials, if you ask me. Keep well away from pointy, slashy, bashy things if you want to reach the end of an arcane utterance. It's just common sense. Fortune favours the fighter who flings fire from afar. I simply love the look of loathing levelled at me by the distant duelist distressed by my deadly downpour. I realise they've all got face marks. How you can tell them apart is they've got different face tattoos that kind of depict their attitude. So like Kokobigo has the little blushy cheeks because he's very like shy and bashful. Then we've got Coco Bezzy on the left. Over here. I think that's Coco Bezzy. Don't remember the names of these two. Coco Bezzy, who's the like angry one. He's got like the little red marks and the little dots over his eyebrow. Then we've got this one over here, who's like the more pragmatic, slightly depressed one. And then the little cat cheeks, little cat whiskers, checkily happy one. And then their elder brother, who's the one in charge. We thaumaturges excel at offence, but fail miserably at defence. Our most effective strategy is to topple over adversaries with overwhelming force before they have a chance to respond. Honour is for knights and dead mages. Taken, your studies appear to be progressing nicely. It won't be long before you dominate the battlefield as an avatar of sorcerous destruction. I hope not. I've got a weekend to do it all. Oh, here comes the alchemist. So it's true, Buki. Don't try to hide from me, Bigo. Or you, Barney. Or Bezzy. Or Bohar. Kokobusi? What are you doing here? You promised. You promised you would teach me next. Well, yes, of course we did, Boosie, but Tegan here was most insistent. And once again you brushed me aside in the hope that I abandoned my heart's desire. Why do you deny me? I hate you, all of you. Please, Boosie, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. You know how delicate Bigo is. That was Kokobusi, our youngest brother. He so dearly wishes to become a thaumaturge like the rest of us, but it simply isn't possible. The poor boy's etheric levels are pitifully low. We thought we had convinced him to accept fate's cruel quirks when he entered the Alchemist's Guild, but he yet yearns to walk the path of thaumaturgy. No. Such is Kokobusi's determination that he spends all his waking moments experimenting with alchemical concoctions, seeking a method by which he can expand his capacity for arcane manipulation. Well, this is obviously not your concern, but back to the abyss with you, young thaumaturge. And I mean that in the most encouraging manner possible. To the abyss with you, young thaumaturge. Oh, I mean, I'm a wizard now. I kinda need a pointy hat. Even if it means burying my ears and hair flicks under said pointy hat. Oh, but also that's to level 25. Maybe not a pointy hat just yet. No, pointy hat time. And I've got a staff now. Woo! The threat of paucity? Yes, Tegan, yes. The aura of power surrounding you is palpable. The glare begins to blind my thaumaturge's eye. Your lesson today shall be taught by Kukabani. Go to him and hear from the chapter entitled The Threat of Paucity. I don't know what paucity means, but I hope to find out. Aha! So, Tegan, you have come to learn at the foot of the third eldest brother, have you? I promise you. What are these two little Lalafell doing? Are they magic dueling, but they're just both doing the malevolent pose? Just like a kind of pose. Anyway, I promise you, however, your education shall not be third rate. Let us read from the second chapter, shall we? Are you settled? No last moment trips to the privy? Very well. The threat of paucity. Ah, how magnificent the ruthless power we wield. Flame devours, ice entombs, and lightning courses through the stricken bodies of our foes. But oh, such desperation! When the wellspring runs dry, flame sputters out, ice melts into slush, the lightning sparks no longer. Know you this threat, and mind you the limits of your mortal vessel. A terrifying thought, isn't it? The thaumaturge who has exhausted her arcane reserves is naught but a woman with a stick and a funny hat. You gave me this hat. And stick. Fine. Fine. For we mages, you may as well equate our etheric energy flowing through our veins with our very lifeblood. Should a battle find us lacking in this precious resource, we are as good as dead. Controlling the expenditure of your power requires an understanding of etheric balance. The scales can tip in one of two directions, astrally or umbrally. When your mind and spirit lean in an umbral direction, your thaumaturgy is affected by the state known as umbral ice. The potency of your spells is diminished, but they also require less energy to invoke. On the other hand, a thaumaturge in the astral fire state will find the potency of her incantations enhanced, but at a greater cost to her etheric stamina. Now, with the concepts of etheric balance and efficient casting foremost in your mind, I bid you go forth and slay 8 efts. Pray do your best to stay alive. Reflects badly on me when the mauled corpse of one of my pupils is returned to the ossuary. 8 efts is simple. Very easy. So we get back to the central Fanland, because I know where the efts are. They're in the tunnel, in the water, down there. Whee! And there is only one other enemy on my hunting log, which is also in this zone, but further along. Whee! There we go. Efts. Let's start with some fire and lightning. and making sure I've eaten food. Nom nom nom. Okay, I got him before he got me. That's okay then. Nice. As long as I kill them before they kill me, it's nice and easy. Pew! Pew! We're getting there, we're killing them all. I did not mean to transpose there, I could have kept it going with Umbral Ice. Level 11. Oh. Okay. So, I believe that was the first rank of hunting log. Yep, 1 to 10, all finished. We are now on hunting log 11 to 20, which is just as well because we are level 11. I think these are back towards Western Thanland. We got Central Thanland with some cactuses and Quiveron attendants. I know where they are. They are just up in this direction over here. Also got antling sentries, which are back that way, and giant tortoises, which are scattered all around both maps. So those are pretty simple. Then it's west. Oh, big frog. And east, 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 and west again. Okay. So we can fly off in this direction a little bit and cover, sort out these enemies. Then we can go fight the big frogs. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I want to be in fire, not ice, because I've got full mana already. Pew! 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 And pew! See, this is why we want spell speed food, because it helps casting all of these abilities quicker. Nice. Oh, we unlocked Blizzard 2. We're getting there. Oh, and that was the attendance I needed. Now we can fly down into the clutch down here and fight the frogs that are down here. And then fly back over towards the ant nest. Which one's Blizzard 2 again? To target and all enemies nearby it. So it's an AoE from them. These frogs are strong. They've got a good grab and the slam attack, but it's easy to avoid. Although my Chocobo loves not avoiding it. Okay. See, we're making such good progress. We haven't even handed in our level 10 and we're already level 13. Sorry, I was taking a bit of a long drink there. I had to pause because otherwise I'd just fly into the cliff. And sentries, the workers. There we go, sentries. Fire! What's like running around in the hot desert, launching fireballs everywhere. And being absolutely fine. Because if at any point you start overheating, you just go, oh, I'll just turn to the ice mode, and you get this little ice ball floating around you. It didn't move quick enough. I was motioning a little ice ball instead of holding onto my controller. I wasn't the fastest on my feet. Okay. And I think... Yes, we do want to fight the giant tortoises. But this one is level 17, so it could be risky. Ooh. Oh no, we're fine. I was worried I wouldn't be able to take on the tortoise, but it wasn't actually that difficult. Oh, that was close. But we beat up the tortoises, so simple. Hi, highway flowers. We're in an online folklore talk. Ooh. Oh yeah, my lovely flying bird. It's for suspended nap time. I'm, oh, I'm definitely asleep. Ignore the fact that my eyes are open. Okay. I doze off quietly, but I'm still lying here with my eyes open. Would I want a flying bed IRL? Now that's an interesting question that would take follow-up questions. Would the bed itself be sentient? Like, would it be a creature that flies? Or would it just be like an object that levitates in a direction that I point? No, like it's a car. Ooh. Probably? Normal car, not Knight Rider. Fair. So yeah, as if a bed was a vehicle that just kind of floated about. How fast does it go? Because does everyone have a flying bed? Because if I had to worry about other people flying around on their beds, that's the reason I don't drive a car. Or like if I had to avoid plane lines and things, just me on my flying bed, then definitely. Because I could very easily fly around low enough that I guess I would need like a bunch of licenses and things. Oh no. In the hypothesis that we are magic fantasy land and a flying bed isn't seen as like weird. Like if it just became like a thing that I like got invited to a game show and I somehow won it and the prize was you get a flying bed. And it was like a televised published thing that then everything knew about and I got licensed to be able to fly this bed around in public, then 100% I would have a flying bed because I would love, I know it would be a sick, well, depends what the game show is really. Like what if it was just like Love Island but your prize was winning a flying bed? It's thematic, it would be very weird. Um, yeah, but yeah, I would then like, basically, the reason I went into that weird hypothesis was because if I just suddenly had a flying bed, theoretically, and was like, cool, I'm just going to open up my balcony windows and fly my bed out, and like on Monday, I'm just going to go to work on my flying bed, and I will just plonk it down somewhere at work, out of the way, like on one of the roofs or something, cover it in a tarp so that it doesn't get wet, and then climb in through one of the windows. And then just be at work. And then when I finish work, just throw the tarp back off, tuck it back under the pillow after folding it up and shaking it off and everything that needs to be done. If it's rained, lovely and sunny today though. And then fly my bed back home. Save on bus fares. It would probably be a lovely, comfortable ride. Might be a bit chilly, but you're in a bed, assumedly under a duvet that is all nicely tucked in. So, yeah, it would be lovely. If it was like this, where you could just like lie there and just be like, it's carrying me to where I'm going, um, then that would be amazing. But I would hate to be like, cool, I get in my bed, I fly off to work, and like 10 minutes into my work, the military turn up, or the police turn up to be like, we got countless eyewitnesses saying they saw a flying bed turn up at this premises. We're going to need to look around because we need to find out who's flying a bed, how a bed is flying. Oh no, but like if in, it's one of those corner cases where I feel governments and things would automatically find it suspicious and be like, we need to question whoever has somehow managed to make a bed fly. Which is why I was like, if you just like won it in a game show and it was publicised and licensed and you were legal to fly it around, absolutely I would use a flying bed. 100%, perfectly fine. I would fly a bed everywhere. Saves on public transport, it's much comfier, perfect. If it was just like a sudden magic spell that's like, your bed now flies, then I would be a bit more like, okay, I need to somehow work out how this works and fly it around without A, it being confiscated by the military, or B, me being shot out of the air by someone, or like hitting a plane or something. Like, I need to keep it secretive enough that I can get away with it without being detained for some random nonsense reason that I'm sure governments would love to do just to take the bed off me. Invisible flying bed. Then it would just be me flying around and people would be like, we need to find this person because they clearly have superpowers. Oh, I'm invisible while flying the bed. Then 100%. If it was an invisible flying bed where I'm invisible while flying the bed, I would 100% just use that to transport wherever I needed to go. Yeah, like tuck the sheets up under myself, and then from below you can't see me because you're looking at the bed. Yeah. Like, the bed has like a cloaking device. Like the coats that they made in Japan, where it has like a load of cameras on it, and so it projects on the fabric of the coat what the cameras are seeing the other side of the coat. So it works like a invisibility cloak. You might put the coat on and you can tuck your legs up into the bottom of the coat and tuck the hood down, and then it's just like, you look like you're not there. They're amazing. Like, I don't know how we haven't mass produced them yet. I imagine because they're incredibly expensive to make, but like, that's the sort of thing where the military would go, you've made an invisibility cloak. We need to give our soldiers this so that we can win whatever fights we need to win and confiscate your technology. That's the sort of thing where I'm like, if I just suddenly had a flying bed, I would need to make sure that didn't get taken from me because that's my bed. I don't particularly want to just be like, well, you've got to buy a new bed now because your old one got stolen by the military because you got arrested for flying a bed. They found some weird corner case law that was like, you don't have a flying permit, and that doesn't matter whether it's a plane or a bed or a kite. You're not allowed to fly. Therefore, we're confiscating your bed and putting you in prison for the night. Anyway, that was a weird side tangent. I would love a flying bed. In conclusion, I would love a flying bed if no one asked any questions. But to clarify that, I had to ask a bunch of questions. Which makes perfect sense. Aha! You arrive before me upright and breathing. Wonderful. It is so much simpler to pose questions to a student without having to resort to necromantic divination. Yep. Tell me, Tegan, what action would you take if you found your thaumaturgical endurance exhausted in the midst of battle? Run away? Oh, most practical indeed. A discreet withdrawal to await the replenishment of your energies is a sound strategy. But should there be nowhere left to run, a vial of ether can be your stoutest ally. Ah, ether, a draught of the gods. We thaumaturges, indeed, any who practice the arts of arcane manipulation, value this substance above all others. Thus, it is within our unbridled fury that we receive the most recent report of beastman activity. It seems an Amalja raiding party has attacked a caravan on the trade routes and made off with an entire crate of precious aether. The time has come to put your new knowledge to the test. Annihilate these Amalja bandits and retrieve the cargo of aether-filled vials. According to the report, their armoured war transport was last spotted to the south of Drybone. They want me, a little mouse, to go and attack an armoured war transport full of beastmen. Sure. Ah, and I believe Kokobuki has an additional request. While you are busy incinerating Amalja, be sure to collect some samples of their blood. Assuming you can draw any from their smoking remains. Thaumaturgy's so violent. You're sure I will do fine? Good. I'm glad. I will do fine. I will swoop in on my bed and blast them all with little fireballs. And then swoop away again. Stuff. My brain took a second there to load. Where am I going? Camp Drybone. Swoosh. Yeah, invisible bed. There's their armoured war transport. Oh, and in the time it took me to sleep them, we already killed one, so I guess I just attack the other. They're only level 7. Now I feel bad for them. Okay, these will be an actual challenge. Tuko-tukos, level 15. Part of my hunting log, but the higher end of my hunting log. Or the middle section of my hunting log, I'm not quite sure. That's a thought. How is my chocobo doing level-wise? Level 7. That means I can get it Choco Rush. Choco Rush! And I can watch it Choco Rush something. Big zoom. I didn't need to fight another one. Uh-oh. Oh, lucid dreaming is a nice skill to acquire. Sorry, I'm just ignoring the enemy and rejigging my hotbars. Hunting log. So those ones I've kind of ignored. They're in West Sandland. I can go and grab those in a moment. That's West Sandland as well. I've got the big goats and the life flow swarms and the rotting corpses, and then the other ones in West Sandland as well. We got a few more hunting logs in this area. But first is the goats. And it's the nanny goats as opposed to the billy goats. Oh, I've got Maltgoat leathers for it. Ow. I didn't slide carts fast enough. Maltgoat horn. Okay, managed to beat up those goats. Then we fly up here to the fly swarms that are all in this little corridor bit, I think. Somewhere around here. Corpses are up here though. Stare into the face of the abyss. Uh-oh. I probably didn't want to fight both of them at once. Oh god. Oh no, the imps. Ah. I tried to run away and break line of sight and then ran into two imps. That was not good. Pretend you didn't see that. Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I went back to Limpsa for other reasons. Yes. Other reasons. Going and fighting my level 19 hunt log quest at level 14 and fighting multiples of them in one go was not smart. Yeah, nothing happened. I came back to use the shops. Yeah. I came back to this city specifically because I wanted to come here to talk to my retainer. Yeah. Oh god, all the people are spawning in. I'm going to move further away so that I can use one of the other summoning bells. So that hopefully it's a little bit faster, because Limpsa tends to be a bit slow. Completion. Ooh, elegant pieces and marsh green dye. And then that one is the fire crystals. Have I sold anything? Nope. Oh, they all cost 2 ventures. I haven't got 2 ventures. I've only got 1. Where do I get more ventures again? Brain? Where do I get more ventures from? See all those people. Can I buy them from the retainer vocate? I could hire a second retainer. Get myself a fishing retainer. But the downside with that is I've only got a level 1 fishing rod, and that's my only fishing rod. I have no others. I can't give them my level 1 fishing rod, because then I wouldn't have a fishing rod. Who do I buy ventures from again? Oh, I've remembered. I can go get my grand company for seals. Which I could do, but then that's going to Gridania, which... I would go to Gridania to pick up those, to then go to Uldar to continue my quests. I'm just going to jump to Uldar and go there instead. Ignore the fact that I mentioned my retainer. We aren't being silly at all. It's all fine. It's all absolutely fine. Zoom. I will, thank you. I hope you enjoy your... Oh gosh, what was it? Your online folklore talk. It sounds very cool. Online folklore talk. While I'm here killing magic things. My own little folklore talk about flying beds. Hi, Kokobani. Do I detect the scent of aether? Ah, I trust that stench is Amalja blood. Yep, I got the aether crate and a couple of bottles of Amalja blood. Oh, 10 vials, 20, 30. The sight of so much aether is just so very comforting. What have we here, Kokobani? Is this the crate that was stolen? I see Tegan's lessons have had the desired effect. I would assume the vile, viscous liquid you have there is beastman blood. Kokobusi should be pleased. Kokobuki, you left word for me to visit the ossuary. Have you finally decided to begin my training in thaumaturgy? Ah, Kokobusi. Good of you to come. Tegan here was kind enough to obtain a supply of Amalja blood for you. An alchemist acquaintance of mine explained how you had been using the substance in your research to create a mana amplifying elixir. Naturally, we are most interested in the results of such experiments. So, you see, Busi, your work as an alchemist already puts you in a position to work alongside us. You needn't become thaumaturge to be part of our family. That's right, Busi. Besides, the battlefield is a dangerous place, and our skills are not exactly suited to keeping others safe from harm. I see. This is but another attempt to dissuade me from pursuing my true calling. I do not want to cheer you on from the safety of my workbench. I want to fight at your side. But, Busi, we just cannot stand the thought of you being harmed. Pray do not do anything foolish. I do apologize, brother. I sometimes forget how difficult it must be not having a natural aptitude for the arcane arts. As I mentioned before, Tegan, Kokobusi is dangerously unsuited to the wielding of thaumaturgy. Even with the proper training, he would be unable to cast magics as we can. Were he to attempt to force the manifestation of power, the strain on his etheric reserves would likely kill him. But let us not dwell on this unpleasant circumstance. For you, on the other hand, are brimming with thaumaturgic potential. This is all really harsh things to say right in front of him. Like, he won't do very well. He might die. You, on the other hand, you're doing great. You should keep going. We're all really proud of you. Remain diligent in your studies and do not cease in your efforts to expand your wellspring of power. The sort of things they really shouldn't just be saying in front of him. can now accept the next class or drop quest because I've reached level 15. I can also grab my new set of glamour plate. I want to keep using my staff though because I like the staff. Ooh, I get to learn Scathe. And get a new robe. The threat of superiority. Come, Tegan. The yawning abyss beckons you once more. Today, Coco Berzy will instruct you from the chapter entitled The Threat of Superiority. You must be superior. I will become superior. You are come for your lesson, Tegan. Then heed well my words. The threat of superiority. Ah, how magnificent the intimidating power we wield. Flames sear the air, ice frosts the ground, and lightning flashes with blinding incandescence. But not all are cowed by our elemental fury. Ignite not your flames, summon not your ice, and strike not with your lightning. Know you this threat, and stay your hand against such foes. Once you cut away all the overblown imagery, the passage draws attention to the important tactic. The wise thaumaturgist does not engage in battle against opponents she cannot defeat. I feel called out. A fine example would be avoiding conflict with Uldar's multitude of furious merchants. These soulless, ravening creatures are afflicted with the madness of insatiable avarice. Do you perhaps recall the crates of aether you retrieved from the Amalda bandits? Well, a number of irate peddlers have arrived at the guild with the goal to demand recompense for a few measly vials we emptied as our just rewards. All right, yes, we drank the entire bloody box. But the point is that the guild cannot presently afford to pay such a sum. Thus I pass on to you the secret of my last and most potent defence. Shameless weeping. I'm not speaking a few tears here. I want you to stride right up to those tyrannical traders and cry your eyes out. The threat of superiority is to humble myself by crying in front of strange merchants that are angry. Hello, strange angry merchants. I am very sad. You have made me cry. I'm sorry I drank. I'm sorry my masters drank all the potions. Well, you needn't. Well, you needn't cry about a few vials of ether, lass. I'll tell you what. You dry your eyes for me and I'll take on the loss out of my own purse. And then I cry for this one. All right, miss. I know you're the one who chased down those Amalda brutes for us. I'll let it go this time, for your sake. Very sad. It's not that. Oh, dear, I'm not angry at you, you understand. It's those 5 aether-addled brothers I take issue with. You tell them the next time this happens, I'll have the price taken out of their unprincipled hides. I did it. I went and cried in front of the merchants. They all let it go and then left. It worked flawlessly. A masterful performance, Deacon. The sniffling was a nice touch. You will, however, encounter foes who are unmoved by such piteous wailings. Take this recent request, for instance, which I have nominated to serve as your next trial. A team of scholars has asked for a thaumaturge to destroy a cursed relic they unearthed known as Mormo's Urn, which while pottery is by and large immune to tears, it is the Alacran thieves that subsequently stole it that concern me. Drinky drink. The Alacran are an organisation of criminals not normally known for their gentle and understanding dispositions. Rather than attempting to engage an entire gang of their thugs, I would suggest you neutralise the threat to your person with a well-timed sleep spell. The Alacran have been seen travelling through the southeast of Drybone. Find them and destroy the urn they carry. Okay. I can do that. Fly, bed, fly. Plunk. Sneaky, 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 sneaky. Oh, I couldn't sneaky sneak all the way. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak. We did it. We used one sleep spell and then snuck past the other two. And they're still asleep. Flawless. Deacon, a moment, if you please. Pray allow me to shatter that urn. I thought that if I assisted you with your task, then my brothers might finally deign me to take me seriously. So, I followed you. What have we got here then? A couple of nosy. Bleh. Let's try that in a different voice. What have we got here then? A couple of nosy sand rabbits that are about to get skinned. No. Oh dear gods, where did they come from? I would guess out of that cave that they just ran out of. Being a conjurer. Very irritating. There we go. Take you out first. Oh. The rest of them are here. All the ones I put to sleep. Well, there you go. Not too difficult. That was simply incredible, Tegan. I wish I could wield the same sort of power. I became an alchemist in the hopes of creating some manner of mana-amplifying elixir, but all my efforts have been for naught. The results have been far too mild to make any difference. I'll never be a thaumaturge like my brothers at this rate. I'll forever be the pitiless, powerless little sibling. Unless I can break this urn open. That's definitely not cursed. Mormo's urn, if I destroy it, then maybe my family will see what I'm capable of. Wait, the urn can talk? Wait. Don't you dare break my urn. Yeah, what the? Did that piece of pottery just talk? Are you Mormo, the void sent? Well, yes, I am Mormo. But I'm one of the nice void sent. It was the nasty ones that sealed me up in here for helping a mortal. If you would be so kind as to open the lid of my urn, I would be happy to grant you a wish. Anything you desire. Fortune, fame, power. I'm not really interested in fame or fortune, but perhaps there is one thing. I'd like to have etheric power to equal that of my brothers. Power it is. Oh, power is it? A perfectly acceptable wish. In fact, I sense the latent ability buried deep within your spirit. It will be a simple thing for me to turn it loose. What more is there to think about? Open the lid. I should really stop you, I assume. Rather than just letting you open this cursed jar in order to gain thaumaturgy powers. Buddy, you probably should. Oh, I probably could have attempted to stop you quicker than this. Rather than waiting for you to literally pick up the jar and reach for the lid, for me to then go, oh, maybe, oh. Well, I tried to stop him. I don't feel any different. I think Mormo may have been lying. Come, team. It's time we were leaving. Oh, weren't we supposed to break this urn? Yay! Ah. And that is that. Yes, this will be such fun. I mean, it'll be nice to return home after all this excitement. Kokobusi being suspicious. What was the other thing in the hunting log in this area? Cloud of flies, was it? Right, I remember where they are. I had a moment where I was like, where on earth are they? Where did the flies spawn? The answer is in this graveyard. Oh. My dried prunes ran out. My prunes. one level higher. And I'm going to be slightly more cautious about flying in and taking out some of these rotting corpses. I'm going to try and do it properly this time. Oh, there you go. I literally had one left to fight. So I literally got Western Thaum for those, Western Thaum for the thick shell, Western Thaum for the bloated boggy. I was flying off in a very random direction. Okay, so we're getting there. Level 16. It's time to start dropping in some of the guild, some of the roulettes. Because I'm level 15, so I can start doing dungeons now. Although I am a solo DPS, I can ready up for some while doing other things. I might be able to do the daily roulette before... Oh, it's like almost 2 o'clock. I'm probably not going to be able to do both daily roulettes before the turnover. The day's going to roll over before I can roulette twice. But do I just jump into the dungeon roulette instead of the guild test one? Because I don't imagine many people are readying for the guild test one. Using fire magic on a bomb. This will go well. Oh, hooray! We managed to launch the dungeon. We've got an hour to run it, so should be able to get it in beforehand. Ooh. So we got a marauder as our, or a warrior as our tank, myself as a thaumaturge, then a machinist and a scholar. Both very cool. Oh. Oh no. We're running it in big groups, which is a downside because I don't have any of the spells that unlock for blowing up big groups yet. I can't do big group damage yet. Wait, or can I? Can I just Blizzard 2? Blizzard 2, it's a group. Okay, I can Blizzard 2. I just don't have Fire 2, so I can't do that yet. I guess I'm sticking to Umbral Ice for the moment. Oh, that was silly. I've already got one of those. Interrupted by line of sight. There's going to be a lot of this. My sleepy nature is taking over. awake a little bit more. Drinking is not helping me wake up, so I might have to snack. The dreaded snacking. Hopefully I won't rustle about too much. And a lot too hot. Okay. What a collection of them so that I can just snack while I go. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Woo! Second level up. And there's Fire 2 and Swift Cast. Now we're making good progress. Now that I don't need Fire 2 anymore, I have Fire 2. Woo! Yeah, limit break looking cool. Ooh, we hit level 20. Amazing. I literally had all of the loot from this dungeon already. Which, you know what that means? I need to go and sell this all.